You ever witness someone so sure they're in control until one quiet truth flips everything upside down? This is the story of a man sitting calmly by a pool, and a woman who thought she had the authority to remove him. What she didn't know was that he owned the entire place. And what happened next changed an entire community from silent judgment to lasting respect. It was the kind of Tuesday that clung to your skin, dry heat rising off the concrete, the kind of day where even the wind gave up. At Willow Pines Apartments in Austin, the only sign of life that afternoon came from the glimmering surface of the community pool. Celeste Granger, 61, and deeply invested in keeping Willow Pines in order, walked the property as she did every afternoon. She wasn't paid by the management company. She didn't hold an official position. But for the past 10 years, she had made herself an authority on everything from leash lengths to mailbox paint codes. She carried a clipboard, like it was a badge, and most residents had learned to avoid her line of sight. So, when Celeste spotted a man sitting alone by the pool, tall, composed, and unfamiliar, she stopped in her tracks. He wore khaki shorts, a navy polo, and dark sunglasses. His presence wasn't loud, but it unsettled her. He didn't fit the picture she had of Willow Pines resident. She approached with her usual no-nonsense gait. "Excuse me, sir. This area is for residents only." The man lowered his sunglasses slightly. His eyes were calm and unreadable. "I know. Then you'll understand why I need your unit number," she continued. "Management's been clear. No unauthorized guests." He looked at her evenly. "I don't live in a unit here." Celeste's shoulders stiffened. She clutched her clipboard. "Then you need to leave. Now." He closed the finance journal in his lap and placed it beside him. "I'm not trespassing." The tone wasn't defiant. It was factual. But Celeste had dealt with clever types before, rule benders, outsiders. She wasn't about to back down. "I will call management or the police if I have to." From the balconies above, a few residents had begun to lean over, sensing something was unfolding. A few pulled out phones, not recording yet, but clearly watching. The man stood slowly. "You're welcome to call them," he said. "They'll confirm that I'm not just allowed here. I own this place." There was a pause, long and sharp. "You what?" Celeste blinked. "I own Willow Pines Apartments," he repeated. "My name is Dr. Tavin Ellridge. I acquired the property about 3 months ago." Celeste stared, unable to find footing in the conversation. "That can't be right. We'd have been informed." "No announcements," he said. "That was intentional." "Why?" she asked, voice tight. "Because people behave differently when they know who's watching." The words weren't meant to sting, but they did. Her assumptions had unraveled in front of a dozen silent witnesses. Tavin wasn't smug. He didn't gloat. He simply gathered his journal and towel. "I didn't come to disrupt. I came to understand what I own. I listen before I lead." He turned to leave, leaving Celeste standing in the heat, her authority dissolving as quietly as it had been assumed. That night, the complex buzzed. The man by the pool wasn't just someone's guest. He was the new owner. And he had watched Celeste, perhaps everyone with quiet eyes. People began to remember things. Repairs that were suddenly getting done faster. Landscaping that looked cleaner. Pest control actually showing up. And no one had connected the dots. Tavin had already been working, just not in the way most people expected. There were no memos or town hall meetings. No meet your new landlord emails. He observed, listened, learned. Celeste's name wasn't on any HOA board, but her influence had gone unchallenged for years. She had become a symbol of petty power, chiding kids for sidewalk chalk, snapping at teenagers for playing music too loud, warning dog owners about leashes 1 inch too long. Many residents resented her, but few dared push back. Until now. A few days later, Tavin returned not in a luxury car, but walking a reusable water bottle in hand. He visited units quietly, not to collect rent, but to ask how things were going. People were hesitant at first, unsure how real his calm demeanor was. But the more he showed up, the more they believed it. He asked what people needed. A safer crosswalk near the school bus stop. More lighting near the laundry room. Air filters changed more regularly. Each suggestion was met with a thoughtful nod and soon action. Celeste kept her distance, but she felt the shift. Her neighbors, once deferential, now stopped greeting her with forced smiles. Some even politely ignored her. She wasn't sure which was worse. Then came the flyer, a Saturday morning community coffee and conversation in the courtyard, hosted by Tavin. No agenda, no pitch. Celeste stood at the edge of the gathering, unsure whether she was welcome. Tavin noticed her immediately and offered a small nod. Not an invitation, but not exclusion either. She hesitated, then joined the edge of the circle. He didn't call her out, didn't mention the pool incident. He simply poured her coffee and moved on. When he spoke, it was short and simple. "I don't believe in fixing things from the top down," he said. "I believe you build community by listening to it first." No applause, just silence. Then slowly, people began to share. About broken benches, delayed repairs, the way some neighbors didn't feel seen. Tavin didn't interrupt. He wrote things down. That moment became the true turning point. Celeste didn't change overnight, but something cracked. The armor of righteousness she'd built over years of unchallenged authority didn't feel as solid anymore. A week later, she knocked on Tavin's door. "I was wrong," she said simply. He opened the door but said nothing, waiting. "I assumed you didn't belong. That says more about me than it does about you." He stepped aside, inviting her in. "Have a seat." They spoke for an hour, not just about the pool, about Willow Pines, about power and what it means to be part of a place rather than on top of it. Over the next months, the complex continued to transform, not through dramatic changes but through presence. Residents started helping each other without being asked. Kids played more freely. Notices became friendlier. Even Celeste, once feared, began to host small meetups, gardening days, book swaps. She had gone from enforcer to participant. And Tavin, he remained steady, never loud, always visible. A presence that reminded everyone that leadership wasn't about dominance, it was about care, and that, sometimes, the strongest response to being misjudged isn't outrage, it's consistency. By the end of the year, Willow Pines wasn't just a place people lived. It was where people felt seen, respected, included. And for the first time in a long time, Celeste Granger left her clipboard in the closet.